Cut it out! Yo, what's up with this? Well, let's get the laser lines lined up a little bit, check where we will end up, make a mold of these sizes, and I now know for sure I'm getting the dashboard beam off first, and then we'll work that in later because we cannot get it up. I measured everything. There's just no way this can go up in between the bottom plates. Let's make it ourselves a little bit easy and shove that in later. Maybe we can cut it in half, put it in and put it backward together. Let's find out in this episode. Well, some challenging spot welds here and there to start with, but in the end I think it will come off pretty easy when we drill all the spot welds out, and yeah, it should switch off and we can go on with measuring and making a mold to get up there and then start cutting. How about that then? We've got another challenge overcome. Top is off. Now on to making a mold to see if it can fit up there. Put the laser in, put the mold in, and then we can start measuring out before we start cutting the rest of the chassis. This should go correct. Is that so easy as you think, huh? Okay, let's check again. We want it to go up there, and this to end up around about there. This is the shape that I think it is going to be. Well, okay, that's the game plan made. So over here it is getting a little bit wider, around 2-3 centimeters. I'm going to make the chassis that's much wider because only at the bottom it's a little bit smaller. I think we can bend that a little bit away so it will fit in. The other side is rotten out and we're changing the inners later on so we can fit that. And then if you can see, it's all a little bit wider and the dashboard is almost in that shape as you can see in the cardboards. So, okay, this point wider, this point all marked down, bent upwards, that will fit like the original bottom spot welds. That side as well. Grind some stuff down. Let's get some chisel done. Okay, I've got all the lines crossed. Over here it's going to be a little bit wider, then it goes smaller inside the inner rocker. Both sides are done. That side's done. This side's done. Same over here. Got all the lines on there. All the lines on there. So this one can be cutted. I'm going to move this away. I want to go up. I think I'm going to remove the complete inner beam because it will be in the way for the bulkhead, and we're going to get the strength back with that one, and probably we're going to put another extra little beam to connect everything together later on. Well, okay, that is everything prepared, everything grinded down, and of course, when you remove some spot welds from the old chassis, and well, this inside sheet metal is so thin that it's almost impossible to not damage anything. So the first thing we need to do is get some holes welded and grind the rest of the bits down. Well, there's one side welded, and then repeat on the other side. Quickly grind it down. Okay, that was a little bit too sketchy for my feeling. My compressor was not on yet. So first up, compressor on, now we can go on. Okay then, both sides are prepared so it can shove in. Now I can go on with the cardboard to see how the fitment will be and where I need to bend stuff down and where not, because the rest of the bottom is just straightforward to a flat piece. Only this is a little complicated. So let's start preparing this and then go on. Well, of course, it will be a little bit of a challenge because the bulkhead, as you can see in the cardboard, goes really far away. So I hope we can get this piece switched out later because they're rotten out anyway. And I hope we can get the top plates down to the bottom of the bulkhead, but that depends on the dashboard how far we need to go backwards or forwards. But we can only see that when it will be in. So this means we're off to the next. I'm going to grind in the bottom plate, then we're going to hammer and dolly this up. The construction part, I'm going to just do them upwards as well, and then decide later on how far we need to cut those backwards or we can weld them in. Well, this is the idea on how I have envisioned to get it all in the E30 again. Making these flaps that we can spot weld it back into the E30 or even weld it all around so we got some body to weld. So the first construction parts are done. Now off to the first piece of the bottom plate, and then I will go with the cardboard back to the E30 to get that measured on where and how wide we need to be on which point. this looks promising. We've got a spot weld line now. It looks like, as you've seen in the measurements, we're in the good spot, 130.5 millimeters. So I want to go on to the next side and then we can measure it back and forth that we're in the same shape, and then we can decide with some final bits that I'm thinking about what to do, and then we will be off to the front piece. That's a little bit more complicated, but as if it looks and it goes like this, I think we'll get it done. Your radio still on. Let's go check if I am in a little bit of a good spot on the white. Almost there. This one over here, it's 4 millimeters too wide. Okay, but this is, well, like this, so that's no problem. Okay, so now that the measurements all looking good, and well, no kind of crazy drama that I cannot get it in. I of course need some small adjustments to get it done, but I want to do that welding and prep work all in the same time when the top point is done as well. So now I need to go to the top point, but to be sure and to go exact, I want to have it under the body again, so that I know for sure that the laser lines will end up, and where we're going to widen it will be in a good spot. But first we need to do something else. Now that this whole bottom is prepped, there is a piece over there that needs to go out as well. Cut it out! This can only mean one thing. This project now finally became ultimate crazy. The whole bottom plate is out. Everything is cleaned out, and these are some nice flat surfaces where I can work with. And that's why we hammered and dollied upwards the other bottom plate, so that that should fit straight in. Let's see. Let's start moving everything around, put it in the final places so we can do the important side piece that it will be a little bit wider, and see if we can get it all prepped. Okay, so now I got on the cardboard which piece can go a little bit wider Draw that on here, over here. It's going to be a little bit wider, then it smooths backwards to a small point. Okay, that is it. All the edges are bent over, prepared, cut it down, grind it down, ready, well, for a test fit, I guess. Both sides are done. Started with laser and then went on knocking them all over and grinding them off. I think the best way forward now is a test fit. I think that will be a tricky one because I think it's made for one time in only. Couple of points. It is on the ramp and that needs to go in there, so that won't fit. So we need to find a different spot for the arms. Then we need to find a way, so we need to get this inside this point, and this is in the way. So maybe I'll grind this out or bend it out so that we can shove it in. That idea. Let's give it a try. Okay, got some tubes, welded them on. This should do the trick. First piece of junk already in the way. Oh, this is going to be a challenge. Okay, take two. I think this not even looks like that there's something being done in this episode. Just a BMW E30 on a frame table. Well, let's take a look how this all went. Hey, this is yellow inside. And look at this fitment. Damn you! This is so crazy. Okay, so this is the crunchy bit. Then you actually should look at that bit. It needs to come up a little bit higher. But look at how this is going to be. We are having a fully filled up bottom plate from a BMW E30 M3 inside an E30. So this means that there is going to be a lot of crazy stuff going to happen in this project. We are not going to do that. We're doing the welding and the preparation work, but Yes, this is turning out so crazy. Let me show you a little bit more. This is the front dashboard beam that we removed. This is so close that we're going to make from 2, 1, that's the beam. This E30 is made for it. This shape is the E30. We need to come up a little bit more, so that means that this tunnel is going to flow into this piece. So when we're done, you will not see that this bottom is in. It will be the perfect fit for an E30. How crazy all this is. And let me show you a little bit more. Then we are at the front, in the engine bay, and in the engine bay we are ending up like this. Check, this is the new inner arch. This is the old beam. It was crooked, it was bended, so we could not use this anymore. So we only took that off to the point that it was straight. But this, check the width. It's the same width as the E30. So the new plan is, not sure yet, we're still discussing, and I need to think a little bit about some stuff because we need to end up at the fully E30 front frame again. But probably we're going to order a new set of beams and then make from the front piece of the E30, we're going to flow that over into the F80 M3 beams so that everything will be strong completely. F80 M3. And we don't have to adjust anything in the engine. We don't have to make any cuts in the beam. Everything will just fit from the engine to the ABS unit, to the steering pump, to the dashboard. Everything will fit like an original F80 M3, but that then inside an E30 M3. Just all a little bit crazy and surreal to get this bottom plate in such a good way. I spent countless hours of hammering and dollying in and measuring to get this all correct, but I now know for 100% sure that when I'm done with this bottom will be in, and when you will look under the car, you will not see that it's in. So it will be OEM+++. It will look like it's an original bottom piece that was always meant to be in here. So I'm really proud of that. Well, you know what's next episode is going to happen. We're going to weld this in, make this all seamless. Do you want to know where we all started? Go watch our previous episodes, like and subscribe to the channel, and see you all in the next episode. And of course, I want to say a huge thanks to Mals BMW Techniek. Link in the description below. If you need anything BMW related, go hit him up. For us to do his project, it's just such an honor. See you all in the next episode.